Okay, everyone, last part of today's lesson are some application problems. So, we have a car tire has a diameter of 28 inches. How many revolutions does the tire make while traveling 500 feet? So, I'm going to start with a picture. We have a car tire. It says we have a diameter, which means the whole way across, of 28 inches. And it wants to know how many revolutions spins. Okay, how many times does it make like a full spin? So if you kind of put the tire on the ground and spin it until it, put like a piece of paint or something and then spin it until it gets back to the piece of paint, how many times does the tire go around if it travels a total of 500 feet? Okay, so if we're talking about you're gonna put the tire here on the ground, and then you're gonna spin it. So you're gonna roll this tire. It's gonna roll the whole way, and then maybe end up like over here or something. So if I'm talking about how far that just rolled, really what we're trying to find here, circumference. So circumference equals 2 pi r or pi d. This time I'm going to use pi d because they gave us the diameter, and they also give us the diameter in inches. So pay attention to that. So circumference equals 3.14 times 28. So grab your calculator. 3.14 times 28. I'm getting 87.92 inches. Now, we know that it traveled a total of 500 feet. The first problem I'm having is that my circumference is in inches, and that is in feet. So you can convert either way. It's completely up to you. But I know that 1 foot equals 12 inches. So I always like to take my feet, my 500 feet, and I'm going to multiply it by 12 inches per foot. So 500 times 12 gets me a really large number, which is 6,000 inches. Okay, so one roll of this wheel will go 87.92 inches, but I know that it went a total of 6,000 inches. And I want to know, okay, well then how many rolls did it actually make? Any ideas on what we're going to do here? So we've got to take our 6,000. We have to divide it by our 87.92. I'm getting 68.2438-ish. So 68.2438-ish. And this time I want to round to the nearest whole number. How many total revolutions. So my whole number is going to be right here. The 2 is going to tell me to leave it alone. So I'm going to say about, I should probably write about 68 revolutions or turns. Next one. You ride your bicycle 40 meters. How many complete revolutions does the front wheel make? So very similar to the last one. Let's just see if we can kind of figure out what we're doing here. So we've got a bike tire. We're going to ride the bike for 40 meters. The wheel is turning. First thing we're probably going to want to find is the circumference of our wheel. So circumference equals 2 pi r or pi d. So look at what we're given. This time, we're only given half, which is the radius, so 2 pi r. Circumference equals 2 times 3.14 times my radius, which is 32.5 centimeters. Grab your calculator. 2 times 3.14 times 32.5 is 204.1 centimeters. So just one rotation of the wheel and you'll travel 204.1 centimeters. but you actually traveled 40 meters. Okay, so if you don't know this one, there are 100 centimeters in 1 meter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 40 meters and times it by 100, which is going to get me, I believe, 4,000 centimeters. Okay, so back to one rotation can travel about 204 centimeters, but I went 4,000 centimeters, and I want to know how many times the wheel spun. So just like before, we're going to take our 4,000, we're going to divide it by 204.1, grab your calculator. So 4,000 divided by 204.1 is 19.598. If we round that one to the nearest whole number, the 5 is going to tell me to round up, so about 20 revolutions, which on a bike doesn't seem that far. Last but not least, find the perimeter of the shaded region. So the shaded region on mine is in blue, and we need to find the perimeter of this thing. So I'm first going to start with, that's part of the perimeter, that's part of the perimeter, that's part of the perimeter, and that's part of the perimeter. I think the easiest part to start with would be the 2 red lines. So part of the perimeter is we've got 6, and we've got 6. Now we have to go look at the 2 purple lines, which is a little harder to figure out because they're kind of curved. So they're kind of curved. They're part of a circle. Okay. So really what we're looking for here is the arc length. We need to figure out how long those are. There's a couple different ways to figure it out. If you notice, this is 90 degrees in here. 90 degrees is like 1/4 of a circle. So you could just find the entire circumference of the circle and then divide it by 4, and that will give you the length. I'm going to use our arc length formula that we just learned. So arc length formula, if I want this purple region right here, arc length is the measure of the angle. Well, the angle is 90 degrees. Out of the entire circle, which is 360, times the circumference. Well, circumference is 2 pi r, or pi d. I'm looking at my picture, they gave me a 3, and the 3 is the radius, so I'm going to do 2 pi r. That will tell me the arc length of this purple part right there. So grab your calculator, 90 divided by 360, hit enter, times 2 times 3.14 times 3, 4.71. So this distance, 4.71. Now, what do you notice about the other side? And I hope you notice it's the same thing. This has a radius of 3, that has a radius of 3, this is 90 degrees, this is 90 degrees. So if that one's 4.71, then that one's 4.71. And then if we're trying to find the perimeter, remember perimeter means add all the sides. So we're going to add 6 plus 6 plus 4.71 plus 4.71. You could do it a more fancy way, but that's what I'm going to do. So 6 plus 6 plus 4.71 plus 4.71. And I'm getting 21.42 units. And that is the perimeter of the shaded region.